Hey, welcome to our Real Estate Wisdom, your go to podcast for insight into the Canadian property market. I'm your host, Vishal Kapoor, and today we are diving into a hot topic: the pros and cons of the recent US elections and Trump's victory on Canadian real estate. So let's break it down, shall we? All right, folks, buckle up because we are in for a wild ride. Trump's back in the White House, and it's sending shockwave through the North American economy. Let's start with the potential upsides for our housing market. Yes, whatever happens in South is always like affect the North. Now, what we can see, first of all, we might see some interesting moves in the interest rate department. Trump's policies could lead to more aggressive rate cuts from the Fed. Now, here's the kicker. When the US cuts rates, Canada often follows suit. What does this mean for you? Potentially lower mortgage payments and more folks jumping into the real estate market. I know he been aggressive and he wants to build America and want to get people what promises he made. But here's another potential win for Canadian real estate. If Trump tighten up the immigration policies south of the border, we could see an influx of skilled workers heading our way. More people means more demand for housing, especially in our major urban centers. Are we talking Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia? Potentially seeing a surge in housing demand and prices. According to Google, move to Canada began trending upward Tuesday night as the election results trickle in and surge in the overnight hours, hitting a peak around 6 a.m. Wednesday as people woke up to the news. Search interest was highest in Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Oregon, and Minnesota states where Vice President Kamala Harris won. Interesting. Other related searches included how to immigrate to Canada from US, along with best places to live in Canada, and how to get a visa to Canada. Zillow in Canada was another related query with people searching for the Canadian equivalent of the US house hunting app. Now, let's talk about our friends in Alberta. Trump's drill baby drill approach could actually benefit of dependent regions like Alberta. If we see a boost in North American oil production, it could support economic growth and real estate investment in areas like Calgary. So, Calgary people, get ready. You might see a great economy over there. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Let's look at some potential downsides. There's indeed a possibility of increased illegal immigration to Canada as a result of Trump's policies and promises to deport undocumented immigrants from the United States. But before I go that, I can also make some of the key points which we have to look into that. We might see potential surge in border crossings. Experts warns that Trump's promise to deport millions of undocumented immigrants could lead to a surge in people attempting to cross into Canada illegally. During Trump's last term, we have seen changes to immigration policies led to an increase in asylum seekers crossing into Canada, particularly at Roxham Road in Quebec. Yes, Quebec was the gateway. Now, the RCMP has begun preparing for months for the possibility of increased migrant traffic at the border. They are looking at getting more police cruisers, buildings, and buses to handle potential crossings. Concerns from Canadian officials? Quebec Premier has warned about a possible influx of migrants and called on the federal government to protect the border. Other politicians have also expressed concern about Canada's ability to handle a potential surge. Well, government response. Our Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland, has assured Canadians that the borders are safe and secure, and that Canada controls who enters the country. The government has also revived a Canada-US Relations Cabinet Committee to address the issue. Well, good to know, but how practical is that? We don't know. Challenges to mass deportation. Some experts doubt that the U.S. government's ability to carry out mass deportations due to legal, operational, and political obstacles. So we're going to see what's going to happen. Now, Safe Third agreement we have between U.S. and Canada was expanded in 2023, last year, to cover the entire land border, which has reduced asylum claims at unofficial crossings. However, this could lead to more dangerous crossing attempt in remote areas. So, while there's a possibility of increased illegal immigration to Canada, the extent and impact remain uncertain. The Canadian government claims to have plans in place to manage the situation, but concerns persist about the potential challenges posed by a significant influx of migrants. The other thing is trade tensions and economic uncertainty. Trump's protectionist stance and love for tariffs could spell trouble for our economy. If he starts imposing hefty tariffs, it could dampen business confidence and consumer spending here in Canada. And this ripple effect could hit our real estate market as well, and potentially limiting price growth or even leading to price correction in some regions. Well, the uncertainty is surrounding Trump's policy is already causing some market jitter. We are seeing some lenders nudging rates higher in response to surging bond yields. If this trend continues, we could see upward pressure on fixed mortgage rates, making home ownership more expensive for some Canadian. Yeah, it's not stopping at all. One thing or the other. Keep on coming. Well, here's an interesting twist though. We might see a dip in American interests in Canadian vacation properties. The relative strength of the US dollars has made our recreational properties quite attractive to American buyers. But if the US currency takes a hit, we could see a withdrawal from the Canadian vacation property market, potentially impacting prices in popular areas. But hey, it's winter, so most likely people not investing anyway. Most of the time the summer started coming, but we'll see. So what's the takeaway here? Well, as always in real estate, it is complicated. The impact of the US election on Canadian real estate isn't black and white. We are likely to see both opportunities and challenges emerge. For potential buyers, keep an eye on those interest rates. If they do drop, which more likely, it could be a good time to enter the market or refinance. For sellers, be prepared for potential market fluctuations. And for investors, diversification might be your best friend in these uncertain times. Remember, real estate is typically a long term game. While short term political events can cause ripples, the fundamentals of supply and demand still drive our market in the long run. So, what you have to say, what's your opinion? Share with me. That's all for today's episode of Real Estate Wisdom. Keep your eyes on the market, your ear to the ground, and remember, in real estate, knowledge is power. Until next time, this is your host signing off. Bye for now. Disclaimer: the information provided in this podcast is for informational purpose only and should not be considered as financial or investment advice. Consult with your professional before making any real estate decisions.